Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to Into the Between Lands. Today it's just a quick update video on the progress I've been making so far in Blood Magic, some tips and tricks, and yes, a great guide that I found out there for those that want to get deeper into it, as I will be doing. It's time to slow down a little bit, although I know blood magic pretty well, so I've been able to go through it pretty quickly. As soon as we finish the sludge, and that should open Thaumcraft, I think, which I know very little about, so I'll be doing that slowly but surely. But while the pack develops and gets finished, we need to slow down a little bit at this point so we don't run out of content to do. So I'll be diving into the deeper parts of blood magic, which I haven't done too much. So that's why I went out and looked for that source out there in the world. So we'll put that away. We'll get looking in here. So in the last episode, I said to get the tier 3 altar, we'll need octine ingots to cap off these things, but it's not octine, it's actually dawnstone. So just note there from the last episode, not octine, dawnstone. It took me a while to figure that out because when you use this book on it, it'll tell you that you're missing glowstone blocks because some of those scripts aren't changed for this pack yet to tell you exactly what you need, and the Sanguine Scientium doesn't, or the Inspectoris doesn't actually have any text in it to tell you what you need for those. Maybe it's in here for the... I actually never thought about looking in here for the upgrade tiers. This is all rituals. Yeah, but quite a bit of stuff opens up when we get the tier 3 altar there. You can start doing some rituals if you want to. You can get, obviously, the next tier of blood orb, which I'll go over in a little bit because that's a chore to get. But the big thing is the grind out to get all of the runes that you need, right? We needed 20 runes to get the tier 3, and then we need 28 more to go to the tier 4, plus the capstones for the tier 4 is this bloodstone brick, which we need to get a bound weapon to get blood shards to get. So we'll go over that in a little bit here as well. I've got my tranquility area over here. So on the tooltip there, we can see I've got 1,531 points, which gives me a 60% bonus. That 60% bonus is the maximum that you can get at tier 2, and I didn't need even half of the stuff that I put down to get that 60%. I think even the points were like at 1,000 or maybe even a little bit less than 1,000 when it hit the 60%. So I've been doing a lot of work for no bonus for right now. But I think we can test out a theory here now that we can get the next tier of path. I'm just going to dig this out so we can put those in. And I am going to have to tear all this down and replace it somewhere else, but that's not a huge deal as my blood altar grows, because I'm not going to be able to finish off the tier 4 altar for a little bit anyways, so there, now that we've got the place for it, oh yes, I wanted to do this and show you guys. So with that 60% bonus, and I made 8 of these Rune of Self-Sacrifices. So we just need to get reinforced slate, 2 wisps, a blank rune, and then your orb and 4 stone, smooth between stone, to craft each of those. And those increase the amount of blood you get from each sacrifice by 10%. So I'm getting an 80% bonus for that. And I think it's multiplicative with the incense altar. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think it's strictly additive. I think it's multiplicative, but like I said, I'm not sure. So if we look at the blood altar, we've got 435 in there now. And if we do a sacrifice, we're going to go up to 5,619. So bear with me while I pull up the calculator here. So we got, oh, I ruined my, because of where my pause and unpause button is, but we ended up with 5619 LP, and we had 435 to start, so we had 5184. And normally for using that dagger with the each heart would give us or each health gives us 100, right? So 9 hearts would be 1800. So that's a multiplier of 2.88 and divided by I think that's the way the math goes. I'm not that good at math to be able to figure that out, but yeah, we're getting almost triple the life points out of it, right? So that's there. And I've just been using my staff there and you know, regenerating all of my thing. I haven't been fully optimizing it, like placing a campfire nearby and then having some food that can help replenish your hit points as well to make that a little bit faster is would be helpful, like just lessen a lot of the grind that you've got going on. And then the other thing to kind of lessen the grind and make things go faster is you can get acceleration runes. So similar to the self-sacrifice runes, the acceleration runes will make the transformation, like when you're putting things on the altar, it will make it go faster by 20% for each one that you put in there. So if you put 1 in there, it'll be 20% faster. If you put 2 in there, 40% faster, so on and so forth, right? So if you had 5, it'll take half of the amount of time to do any of the crafts in there, which are going to be a little bit necessary when we get towards some of the bigger ones, but it's actually going to be a little bit of a hindrance when we want to do this tier 3 blood orb. So the magicians, blood orb, we need a block of octane, and it takes 25,000 life points to do this transformation. That's a little bit of a problem because our altar only holds 10,000 at any one time. So there are 2 options. There's the kind of brute force and hope you don't mess up option, where you're going to put blood into the network, you know, hopefully, you know, not as fast as it's taking it out, but hopefully even a little bit faster, because it's going to take some time for you to run over to your incense altar to get your tranquility, and then to run back here and to do it, and then to heal back up while it's draining. So acceleration runes would kind of hinder on that. The other thing that you could do is to go for the capacity runes. You can't get the augmented capacity till later, but the regular capacity runes you can get. Just you have to have the tier 3 altar to get the imbued slates, but then you just put the 3 Simmerite buckets in there. I'm not sure if this uses up the buckets or not. I guess we could test it, but each rune of capacity will increase the capacity of your blood altar by 2,000. It's on page 2 here. So each rune of capacity increases the capacity of the blood altar by 2,000 additively. So each one will add 2. So we're going to need 8 of them to increase it by 1,600 or 10,600. So that would give us, 20,600 capacity in there, or 26,000 capacity in there. So we'd be able to, I said all of that wrong. 8 runes would give us 16,000 extra capacity, which would total 26,000, which would be enough if we filled it all the way up to get that Magician's Blood Orb. And then if you need that item for doing some of the crafts for the tier 3 and or getting towards the tier 4. So speaking of the tier 4, I'm almost ready. I've got everything in place except for these capstones. And that, as I mentioned earlier, is done with these bloodstone bricks. The bloodstone bricks are made with 4 large bloodstones, and these are made with weak blood shards. So this is the next item that we need to get from the mod, and they are done with something called a bound tool. And this is outlined in the quest line here. So the next step here is to go for this binding reagent. And the binding reagent is a blue dust, wisp, valenite shard, runic dust. You're going to need at least 400 will. So you're going to need something larger than the lesser Tartarix, as this holds a maximum of 256. So I've already gone up to the common Tartaric here. And then this guy holds 1,000, just over 1,000, I believe. 1,056 or something like that. We just needed an imbued slate, a block of octine, another lesser Tartaric. So you'll need a Tartaric that's almost completely full, because you need at least 240 in there. So if it was completely full, it's 256. So it doesn't have to be right full, but almost full, 240. It'll take 50 will to make that. So each of these higher level Tartarics are nested crafting, but you actually require 2 of the previous tier to get the next tier, because you'll need the previous tier that's almost full plus the blank one. You kind of want to have one without any in it when you do this craft. So as I see here, if we look at the uses on this guy and we go look at the next level, where is it? Common. There we are, greater. So we'll need at least 1,000 in our common, plus another common, and then a demon will crystal, which I don't know how to get yet, and the weak blood shard, which we're just going to go over here in a second. But then, yeah, these just get better and better as you go on, and will make your gear better and better as we go on as well. So if we look at my sentient sword, it's currently at 6.75. But just note that the sentient weapons and tools and the armor set will only look at your highest amount of will in a singular gem. So it's not adding these 2 gems together. Even though I've got 55 in this one and 205 in this one, it's not adding them up to give me the total extra stats for the weapon or tools. There is a way that we can fill these up. Just as a thing, I don't know about on the hotbar, but in your inventory, it prioritizes from top to bottom and from left to right. So if I killed a creature right now, the will would go into this gem. If this gem was full, then it would go into this gem, and then if both of these were full, then it would fall into this gem. So that's the order for there. I don't know. I think the hotbar prioritizes over the inventory. Not 100% sure on it, but I believe that's the truth. But if I took a smaller gem, and let's just put this one over here to prove this theory. We put that on our hotbar and we shift right click it. We can drain will out of it and it will go into another gem. See, this one's still at 0 and this one's now at 223. So I can drain everything right out of that one. That one's completely full and it started going into my common now. That hasn't increased at all, but we can go and drain this guy fully out. And now this is up to 260. Now I still didn't. I was hoping to squeak another little bit of extra damage out of it, but wasn't able to at the end, but that's fine. And then for now, I can just put these away, and then if I need to, we can transfer, will out of here into these other ones. But I don't have to run around with these clogging up my inventory. Let's go into here for holding just for now. Onto the bound tools. So once we get this binding reagent, like I said, I'm going to have to go do some more hunting and get the will that I need and get all of these things are pretty easy. One of the best places actually to get these wisps, because if you know, the only way to get the wisps, you have to have the fog event going on in the world, because otherwise the wisps will fade out when you get too close to them in like the regular daytime, the regular nighttime. But in the fog, they stay lit up, and you can get close enough to them to get one. But Crag Rock Towers, these are the best places to get the wisps, and I'll show you here, just demonstration. Like we've got all of these wisps all along this column here, right? I really hate how this Crag Rock Tower is right next to the Mama Chirama nest. Always got to think twice about coming here. You'll need some building blocks to get up to these ones, but there's also some at the very, very top. So after you've cleared one, you can go back up through the ruins to get the ones at the very top if you want. But if I jump from here, I should be able to get there and climb on. Maybe not. At the very least, I could get onto that one. I need this guy. There, I got another frog back. Stay here, sir. Actually, I can't even get up there right now. There you go. It's really hard to go up, but it's super easy to just work your way down if you don't overjump. Wouldn't be an SJM video if we didn't derp. Anyways, yeah, that's a hint for getting those wisps for the binding reagent and for the runes of self-sacrifice, because you'll probably want to get 20 or so. 20 would get you 5 of the or 10 of the runes, but yeah, I think that's everything I wanted to talk about in this episode. Yeah, the Magician Blood Orb, which is yet going to be a big grind to get there. Oh yes, we wanted to test the stone paths. We'll be back in a second. All right, so for the stone paths, hold up. Oh, it is shapeless. What am I missing? Oh, you need at least the Magician. Right. Anywho, once you have your Magician, you'll be able to go in, and you don't have to take out all of these wooden ones. These wooden ones can stay in, and you just extend it out. So you only need to make 24 of the stone paths, which you'll put here, put on each of the things, and then you can extend this out if you want to with more of the materials. But then it will increase the maximum bonus that you get up to 120. So I'm not 100% sure if the setup I have here with 1500 points is good enough to get up to the 120, but we've got lots of extra space and a couple of blocks still left to use to be able to help with the diversity, but I've already got pretty good diversity here, and we can just add a couple of more of each of them. Luckily enough, this fire didn't catch any of these leaves or the crops, so we're good in that regard. Got the wildwood logs. I forget which blocks that I'm missing that I don't have in there anywhere. These flowers from roots, still no idea. And then the life essence, I just haven't had enough luxury to be able to bucket out any life from the blood altar just yet. Could always add in leaves, weedwood bushes, magical logs. I've only got like 4 of each in my setup right now, so we can add a few of those to increase. And yeah, just get that extra bonus there. And this has got to be moved back because the tier 4 runs right through there. And it'll be a long while before we get up to the tier 5. So I'll just continue, I'll just carve this out a little bit more and set up a little bit further down, and that will be my setup for the tier 4, and I think we'll get access to some nice rituals and even some places to go and start farming some new things in alternate dimensions is what I'm looking forward to in the tier 4 if memory serves correct. Yeah, and for filling up these Tartaric gems, also the structures are your best bets unless you know where there's a mob spawner somewhere down underground if you've happened to come across one anywhere. But yeah, just going up like a new Cragrock Tower or going into a new White Fortress, you get tons and tons of life or will from fighting all of the mobs as you go through those structures there. So that's my hint for filling up your Tartaric gems. Anyways, that's it for this short episode. I appreciate you all for checking it out, and we will see you in the next one.